My name is Jane Haakonsson and I am a research officer with the Terrestrial Resources Unit in the Department of Environment. And today we're on the Brac and we're doing a parrot survey. So I'm here with my colleagues TayVanis, Oyog and Simone Williams, and what we're doing is we're trying to get a population estimate as well as abundance across the island of the Cayman Brac Parrot. And the reason why that's important is because it is the most narrow-ranged, restricted Amazon parrot in the world. So it sounds like a lot, and it really is. It is a great responsibility to look after this subpopulation because it is so limited in space to Cayman Brac. And not only is it limited to this small island, it's also limited to specific habitat, particularly for nesting, because the parrots are cavity nesters, so they need circumference in the trees. They need big enough, tall enough, fat enough trees to go in, go down and nest. And unfortunately we're losing that habitat to storms and to development as well as other threats. It's hard to sometimes get your mind around how do you count all the parrots on an island. And we don't, of course, we don't see all of them. But what we can do is we can statistically infer the populations as well as the densities around points. So we have just over 100 points scattered across the island. And we go to point 0, and from there we spend 6 minutes and we literally record everything we see or hear. And we record the distance to the focal species, in this case the parrots. 90, 60, angle 160. With enough detections we can model a detection curve, which basically tells us how many parrots do we not see and hear. So in that way we can get a good grip of whether or not year after year the populations are going up or the populations are going down. The Department of Environment has been monitoring this population since before Paloma, so in 2008. And after Paloma happened, we found that the population had decreased by over 50%. And it has taken several years for the population to get back to pre-hurricane levels. So if we say have 2 hurricanes back to back that hits Cayman Brac, we are very, very likely to lose the Cayman Brac parrot forever because it's found nowhere else and the resilience is so low. Hemington Forest and the Parrot Reserve, owned and managed by the National Trust, are really of crucial importance to the parrots. So while the parrots will not live in that area uniquely, they will use that for nesting. And unfortunately that particular type of habitat is what is under so much threat to storms and development. So something people can do to help the resilience of these parrots that we all love and cherish is to be mindful when you develop, to not take down the big birch trees that provide food, not just for parrots, but for all birds year-round. Sea grapes, all the stuff you see the parrots eat, try and keep it on your properties as you develop, but also in your gardens you can plant native trees, and because the island is so small you will have parrots in your garden because they've got nowhere else to go. So I think conservation is great with protected areas, but it's not enough. I feel that parrots and people should be getting on, and there is a place and a way for all of us to live together, and it really is the future, not just for parrots but for rock iguanas as well. So we have to welcome them into our space as we create our homes and continue living here for generations.